Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the October 10th meeting of the North Andover Select Board. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 7:02 p.m. and ask you to stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is anyone here to make public comment tonight? So come on up and just tell us who you are and where you live. You have to head up to the microphone, please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Janet Chatzman. I live in North Andover for about 20 years now.
Where do you live? What's your address?
42 Boston Street. Every single person, whether Jewish or not, I spoke to in this town, everyone supported the idea of raising the flag of Israel over the town of North Andover. As I speak to you right now, some of my relatives sitting in bomb shelters. Some of my friends may be dying. Now, look at my eyes full of pain, and eyes full of fear for Jewish nation and Jewish people in the United States and all over the world, and our Jewish neighbors in town. And what our silence might say. I am begging you to make this decision quick and to raise flag of Israel over the town of North Andover, to let the whole world know that we, North Andover, of United States of America, standing by Israel, standing by Jewish nation, by Jewish people, by our Jewish people in North Andover town, and against violence. If you need Israeli flag, I have it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming in tonight. We're going to move on to our new business. And item A is an update from the U.S. Small Business Administration. So if you could come on up, you can have a seat, or thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Those of you that I've met may know me as Jim Accurso. I'm the Public Affairs Specialist with the Small Business Administration, Office of Disaster Recovery and Resilience. I met many of you when I was here for the week that we ran our Disaster Loan Outreach Center, the first week that we were here in town following the August 8th rain event. And we really appreciate the fact that you gave us that space so we could have our customer service reps meet with people. People came in 6 days a week. We then moved to the Senior Center in Lawrence. And as a result, I think, of the outreach efforts that I had, they kind of built up, and the partnering that I was able to do with the town and with other towns, you know, getting the word out that we had customer service reps available to talk to people. And the main goal was to get people to come in just to talk to us, to see if they were eligible. You know, that you do know that the loans are long-term, low interest, 4% and less. And that we do help homeowners and renters. To date, we have had 51 home applications, and 21 business owners have applied for an SBA disaster loan, and that's in the 3 counties of Essex, Suffolk, and Rockingham. Excuse me, let me get my counties right. Essex, Middlesex, and Suffolk. Hillsborough and Rockingham in New Hampshire are also part of the declaration. So when we come in and do a declaration, it's for a primary county and then associated counties that border those. So in those counties, and actually the New Hampshire counties haven't really registered. They didn't have as much rain, you know, as you all had here in northern northeastern Essex County. So again, like I said, to date, 51 home or business owners have applied. There are 22 home loan and 15 business applications in process. And those business applications are also our physical damage and our economic injury disaster loans. And to date, we have awarded 13 loans for just under $512,000, so just about $500,000 in loans have been awarded. The deadline to apply is November 20th for the physical damage loans. So at this point, we're encouraging everyone to apply online, complete their applications online. They can also call our 800 number and get a paper application. If they need any assistance, I've reached out to the Small Business Development Center at Salem State, and then also the SBA district office in Boston. They're aware, and they can help anyone that may have any issues with making their application. But we encourage folks that may not, feel they could qualify, or they're not sure if they're eligible. Please come in and talk to us. Please go online and talk to us. Please fill out the application. There's no fee to apply. There's no obligation to take the loan if you're awarded it. And if you are awarded the loan, you don't have to pay it back for the first year, and there's no interest accrued in that first year. So we encourage folks, again, homeowners, renters, business owners, and we also help nonprofits as well, a small sliver of nonprofits. We can help them as well. And, we would like to be able to, to help folks up until that November 20th deadline. There is some wiggle room at that deadline, but again, we want folks to apply, by that deadline date. If by chance they are declined for the loan, they have up to 6 months to reapply. If they're found ineligible, they'll get a letter that'll spell out why they may be ineligible.
Some of those reasons
Yeah,
be
I'm curious.
impacted. Like if it was a business that was highly impacted by that storm, what would be, some reasons why?
Well, if it was a partnership, we need to have paperwork from both partners, okay, if it's
Okay.
50-50. Okay. So we need to have tax returns from both partners. And we need to have an accurate EIDN number.
So it's a lot of administrative.
Yeah, it can be. More times than not, it's administrative when they're kicked back.
And it can be rectified typically.
Yes, oh yes, and again, we encourage folks to reapply, to see if they're eligible. And again, even if they get to the point where they are approved, there is no obligation to take that loan. Similarly with the homeowners as well, we need, proof of the damage. They don't need to file for insurance before they talk to us, because any of the funds that we distribute are above and beyond insurance or other sources. So if they were to get some additional funding from another source, the monies that we would provide are above and beyond that. We also help with mitigation measures. So if someone who took on water in their basement, and had a lot of their personal belongings destroyed, if they were to put in a sump pump or any other kind of measure to not take on that water, the next time they could get an additional amount to that loan that they're awarded. So homeowners can get up to $500,000. Renters can get up to $100,000. So for homeowners, it's real estate and the property damage, as well as the personal belongings limit of $100,000, and then any renters would get up to $100,000 as well. The business physical damage maximum is $2 million, as well as the idle economic injury disaster loan. That's a $2 million cap. The deadline for that to apply is not until June 20th of next year. So many of your businesses can look back to see if they had a loss associated around the August 8th rainstorm, and they could be eligible. Say if they had to lay people off, they couldn't make payroll, customers didn't come to them, they were unable to get the customers for whatever reason. We encourage them to come in and talk to us. And then, like I say, what a lot of folks again don't know is that we do help. We do help the renters, and we also help with folks that if they had other SBA loans, that's not going to keep them from getting another disaster loan from us. We can't consolidate the loans, but we can work with them. We will work with them in that regard as well. So again, they can apply online. It's disasterloanassistance.sba.gov. Anyone that doesn't have a computer could call 800-659-2955 and request a paper application. And then, go to the SBDC, they could help them fill that out if they have any questions. And that's about it. I talked about mitigation and insurance, yeah. So it's best to, if you're on the fence, spread the word if you know anybody. Dick, you had mentioned, you knew of a business that was, took on a lot of water. If they haven't applied, they still have time, but they don't have to get everything all in order, before they come in, like with insurance and the like. They can, get the application
Get it started,
in the
sure.
pipeline, get it started.
Cool, good to know.
Okay?
Have we gone back, like reminded that whole list that you have?
We
So,
sent that again, and then
Okay.
we also are planning on resending out just to that entire list, information about our internal programs as well. And then we have learned that Greater Lawrence Community Action Council will be sending checks to residents who filled out the claim form. So we don't know if they've been sent yet, but we've been told that it's about $567 per household.
oh,
And so that's anybody who filled out the
So
form.
is that similar to a grant?
Similar
from the
to
town?
a grant, yes.
Okay, okay, so anything that we would provide is above and beyond
Would
that.
be above and
So,
beyond
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
that's great.
okay, that's helpful, that's
Good
helpful.
news, thank
And then
you.
I know you had another rain event in September, right? And I know that's pending for another separate declaration. I know they're waiting, I think they're gonna start doing the assessments tomorrow for that.
We did
So,
not have significant damage from that event, so we,
Yeah.
very few things that we put in, yeah.
yeah, So, knock wood, because these things come out of nowhere. So, but again, we're here to help, and, folks can reach us again, by email as well, disaster loan assistance at sba.gov if they have any questions. And, folks, Gloria and Melissa, you have my name and phone number, so be glad to help.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's great work that you do, thank you so very much.
We appreciate,
It's a nice welcome wagon kind of call when someone's in trouble, so,
yeah,
yeah.
and that's what we like about the, traveling, being able to help folks and help them through some tough times, so. And that's why, we appreciate the opportunity to have some space here.
Thank you.
Because we need that to operate out of.
Just so that you, and I'm sure you know the perspective, so it started off with the Columbia gas fires, and it's all in this, pretty much the same area where the flooding is, a lot of it is. And then it was COVID, and now we've got the flooding. So these people keep getting hit and hit and hit, so the help is really appreciated.
Yeah.
You all have just had so much rain here in New England since the spring. I was in Vermont before I came here, and, it's mighty wet, so.
It sure is.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
So, Well, thank you for the update, I appreciate it.
Thank you for having us, and we appreciate the opportunity.
thank you.
Thanks.
Melissa, do we have a list of like the businesses that were shut down on August 8th and those that have reopened and those that, or status on those that aren't reopened?
We have a list of everybody who put in a claim form, basically documenting what their damage was. Most of the mill buildings, or most businesses in the mill, I've been communicating with them about what's reopening and not reopening, and they've actually shared a lot of their maintenance plans as we were moving through the process. And Andrew's been working with them on the small business loan program, and he has started to grant some of those loans as well.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see that, which ones were impacted, and which ones are back open again, and which
Yeah.
ones have a longer term.
How it will end, kind of.
Recovery.
Yeah. Most of the smaller ones, I believe, are now reopened. It's the larger businesses.
Few,
Yeah, and there's few at the bottom that have reopened in a different space within the mill building. Obviously, a less appropriate or maybe attractive space for the time being while they're being repaired on the first floor. But that was more the office buildings than like the storefront type places.
Are there any
Well, that's good.
projections for like Jamie's, or have you heard anything?
I have not heard anything, no.
Well, thank you for the update, I appreciate it. Moving on to item B, a public hearing request from Massachusetts Electric Company doing business as National Grid to install underground conduits on Heath Road. So I will take a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Come on up.
Dave Boucher, senior designer from National Grid, 1101 Turnpike Street, right here in North Andover. Tonight, I'm accompanied with the resident at number 91 Heath Road, Danielle.
It's a great little street.
And sometime around July, in the middle of the summer, we received a request from this customer to do something about the pole that's in the backyard that services the house. They have plans to do something back there. So when I went there, we discussed how we would do it, and this is the plan what we came up with tonight that we're presenting to you. Heath Road on the road itself is all overhead wires, and the pole that we're going to come from is a dead-end pole. There's no more wires that go past it in a northerly direction. So what we do is we have an overhead line that comes from that pole that goes to a pole on the property of 91 right now, and then underground to the house. She's asked to have the pole removed and so that they can get out of the way the construction, I believe. Is it construction that you're doing there in the back?
Yeah, we just want to build a yard for our kids.
Yeah.
And there's no real space. We're at the top of the hill, and we're at a hill. So for us, the only flat area is right near where the pole is. And we found out from surveying the land that we own a lot further back. And that's the flat portion. So we have tree removal and stuff that we would need to do, but the pole is kind of like dead center, and it's underground to our house, and it's not supplying anyone else, so it's kind of just there.
So what we do, in order to come up with the new service, is go across the road approximately 50 feet and into the private property where we'd have a handhole. And we would own, National Grid would own all that wiring and 2 conduits, 3-inch conduits with electric lines in them. And then the customer would build their service to the new spot, and then would be able to take away the pole from the property and enable her to go forward with her plans. And if the town sees fit, it would enable us to go forward with this plan as shown in the diagram. If you have any questions, I could try to answer them.
The question we always
Yeah.
ask. You're not gonna have to dig up the road, right? You're gonna go under?
Yeah, we will dig the road. Well, it's
Okay.
not us that will dig the road. The customer will build to the pole and dig the road up. The customer's contractor will put the conduits in the ground all the way to the pole and up the pole. Once we pull our wires in, we will own the conduit that the customer has laid for us to pull our wires through. So yes, the road will need to be opened in order to do that. And to place the 2 conduits approximately 30 inches below grade and then repave over it.
So it would just be directly, like, from our yard to, there's a pole directly across the street. with
Straight
our
across.
neighbors, which they're all for us doing. And in looking at the project and understanding that we have to go into the road, that Heath Road has not been repaved or had anything done with it in a very long time, and it is, in our opinion, as a neighborhood, like drastically in need, especially after what we've gone through recently with huge potholes.
You
and
probably
whatnot.
should be at the microphone. Is that what you're?
Yes.
Oh, sure,
Our
yeah.
camera
They're not gonna
guy
be able
is
to
like
see her at
holding up
home,
paper,
yeah.
and I
Yeah.
can't read it.
Yeah.
but-
No, I mean, and the reason I came was I understand that we would be crossing the road to our neighbor's line that's directly in front of their house. The road on Heath Road is, it hasn't been repaved in a very long time. There's huge potholes that have caused implications to our cars, and, I appreciate the town's, ability to take care of these things, but it's not a new road that we would be, and we would do our due diligence to hire someone that can pave it and fix it as we see fit, but without doing this, really, it doesn't give us a chance to have a yard for our 3 boys that we have and our dog. And so we just want to be able to put this there. And unfortunately, when we bought the house, we didn't think having this pole there in our yard, for whatever reason, why someone, when they built the house, put it there is beyond me. But it's now going to impede what we do. So, if it's taking a look at the road and seeing, how it looks now, and that it's not like we're ripping up a brand-new road. So, yeah.
So it won't be
Three
directional
little-
drilling then, I'm sorry, yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, 3 little boys and a dog do need a yard.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
And we
So they sleep well.
Yes, yes, yes.
We'll put conditions on it, right, that it just has to be back to.
Yeah, in the
Baseline.
contract,
Yeah.
that should be on the contract.
Yeah, and just to state, it does look like it's been previously done for other reasons, not on like our line, but like down the road a little bit, whether it was plumbing or whatnot, it looks like it's been done. But actually directly in front of our house, like we've had people complain about how poor the road is right there. And I mean, there's nothing we can do about that, you know. My nanny's broken her tire and popped the tire from the potholes that are there. So in a separate, if we want to look at repaving the road, that would be great. But with the disaster that's happened, you know, and even talking about this in light of what she just brought up tonight, you know, it's minuscule, but I appreciate your support in us doing this, so.
So will the other services like Comcast or Xfinity and anything, will they also be in the same conduit?
Not in the same conduit, but they would, she would have to arrange, I don't know what how far along she's come along with it, but arrange with the other utilities to have that done. And also petition you at some point to have that done.
Verizon said they do it often and that it's a very simple process for them. It's not really running under the conduit. And then we don't use, and that was a question I probably should have asked, like, we don't use the other services that are on the line. So it's,
But they still might need to
well, that's the question we would
Yeah, I
have
mean,
to ask
tank
them.
somewhere.
So it
Is,
would probably be good to have it all synced up.
I think
right?
it was it's electric, internet, and phone, and then I think there was one more.
Yeah,
But that's not even run to the house anymore, so.
normally a contractor would run a couple of empty conduits along with the electric, but, you know, and they would be empty. I'm not sure the process that Verizon or Comcast has with the town. I know that we come as a sole entity. It's their duty to contact you and petition, I would think, for that wire, for the telephone and the cable TV lines, those two different utilities, to come to you to do that. As I'm saying, the contractor that she has, I'm sure they'll be all licensed and make the road, most of them, they try to make the road better than it was afterwards. But they also should consider throwing in empty conduits for the other two utilities. Perhaps until they petition, they can't run wires. Yeah, I would think that would be the process. I'm not,
Yeah, no, that's fine, I just.
I don't know
wanted to-
that part of the process,
Yeah, no, I
but it
just wanted
makes
to bring
sense.
that up
Makes
so
sense
that
to do it all
people, so we
at once.
understand
Yeah.
that we should sync it up, so it doesn't have to dig the road up twice, and plus it would save
Right,
money.
oh, yeah, yeah. Throw some
Yeah,
empties
plus
in
it
there.
save you
One time.
contractors,
Yep.
yeah, okay.
I just have a question.
Yep.
So from the pole that's in your yard, where you're gonna go under, does National Grid own that high voltage wire, or do you own the?
You talking about what's there right now?
Nope, when this
Okay,
is all said
no.
and done, National Grid will own it.
Across the public way and into the private property, we will own it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Up to
And-
the house, right? Is that?
No,
Okay.
to the handhole.
To the
At the
hand-
handhole, the customer will build to the house. The weird thing about this is, it's not our line, we don't own it until we pull our cables through it. They'll build it for us, and then once we pull the cables through it, we take over ownership of the conduit they provided. And there's tax, there's a way that, I'm not involved in the money part, but there's tax involved that ends up going towards the customer for the payment, and it's all figured out in another way. But just to let you know, we don't own we'll own the conduit in the end that they put in for us.
My understanding too is it's very similar to the way that it is right now, like, instead of running from the
You
pole
still
across
need
Come
to
the
back
Right,
to the microphone.
sorry.
Can you go to the microphone?
Either way.
Instead of running, my understanding is it's similar to the way it's already there, right? Like, right now, it runs from the neighbors across the road to our pole and then underground from the pole in our yard, and we're the only ones connected to it, to underground to our home.
Okay.
So instead of that, we would, which they own once they placed in, but instead of that process, we would bypass the pole and just go straight underground from the pole across the road
Okay,
to
so
our
it's
house.
underground already from.
It's already underground
From
from
the-
the
okay.
pole to our house, yeah.
Just like you're moving it back a pole, like
Yeah.
to the.
Yeah, we're
closest
just, and literally
pole
just
and then
50
go
feet,
in.
yeah,
Yeah.
across the yard.
Think of the ownership ending at the pole right now.
Yeah.
It's gonna end at the handhole next,
Right,
in the end.
okay. No, I was just, when
Yeah.
you were here a couple of times ago,
Yeah.
This is, I know exactly why you're.
Hold those, uh-oh.
and you were trying to take ownership so that you didn't have to deal with the homeowner.
And you were gonna own to the house.
To the
The last time you were.
To the house?
Yeah,
No, we don't.
because you were going to, because you didn't,
It was
Which
a
street
lot
was
of,
that?
there was a,
you guys
I don't remember
left.
that.
it was a,
You guys left to go.
it was a big
talk
meeting.
about it.
You went to another room.
Oh,
and-
right.
Yes.
And I was just, because it's a different, it's like you can't just get, if you lose service, I'm just saying, like, you can't just get any electrician to come out and
Right,
fix
yeah.
it, because it's a high voltage wire, which is,
Actually, it's low
Right, oh,
voltage in yeah, the high voltage stuff, we
You
own
own
all
all
of
the
it.
high voltage,
That's
okay.
primary,
That
secondary is
must
what goes to
be
your house.
The difference.
The difference,
It's the
okay.
lower 240, 120, 240 volts.
okay.
That-
So you
yeah.
own all the high voltage. I just
Yes.
want to make sure you don't end up with
wanna make sure
a
you don't-
situation.
This is all,
Same
this
question,
is all
though. I was
low,
like, I feel
so
like this
everything
is
from the
different.
pole to the house is all low voltage.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Because there was something, yeah, there was another, you wanted to take ownership with an easement.
Yes.
Possibly,
but that
yeah.
was-
If it was high voltage,
Yeah.
That was, yeah.
that's kind of
It's different.
a funny
Okay.
area.
But that, I'm
It can
really,
be both, either way, depending on the situation, all kinds of, whatever the,
And they didn't want
yeah.
to do it.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. Are
Madam Chair,
there-
can we just see if there's any other public comment? Just
Yes.
okay.
Are there any other questions or public comment about this matter? No. Okay. Seeing none, I will take a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. We're going to move to item C, which is the vote on the request from National Grid to install underground conduits on Heath Road.
Madam Chair, I'll move to approve the petition of Massachusetts Electric Company, DBA National Grid, to install underground conduits on Heath Road as presented.
As a mother of 3 boys, I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second.
And a dog.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great.
Thank you.
Thank
Could I-
you.
On a personal note, I stand in solidarity with the lady that was here before, and I admire her brevity for
It was,
speaking up about the Jewish nation. And if you pray, I do, let's not have any violence, just hope for the best, that it's minimal if there's any. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, thank you.
And I have to say that as well. I work for a very small Israeli startup, and we are based in Israel, and I've gone there a few times, and I stand with them and my colleagues and my friends that are being impacted by this, on the front, and so.
As
Thank
she
you.
said to me
Thank
on the
you.
phone today, she said, we stood together for Ukraine.
Yeah,
Now it's that time for us to stand together with our friend and allies.
yeah.
It's just awful.
Mhm.
You
It
just
is.
can't even think. I mean,
And if
I was
you-
starting to fill up just listening to her because.
If you really think, a lot of people have never will get the chance to go to Israel, and, if you fly into Tel Aviv and you go to Gaza, it's only Boston to Portsmouth, that's 45 miles away. It's such a small community that's being impacted, and, wives, children, everyone, grandparents. It's such a small space, and to, when you think about it like that, and how much it's impacting everyone that's there and
And the
everyone
number of
here.
casualties, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
It's such a
Thank you.
small.
Thanks.
Thank you, thank you.
We're going to move on to item D, which is a request from Veterans Services to use Main Street on November 11th, 2023, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. for the Veterans Day Parade. Same as always. All right.
And they do
Such a nice job.
Really
And
good job.
again, in light of what this lady had just said, it makes it even all more poignant for all of us to stand up for the veterans. So please come,
Madam Chair, I will move approval.
Thank you.
and I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Item E, to approve a request from the school department to increase ARPA funding for the school security and emergency assessment to $60,000.
So bids just came in higher than originally anticipated for this project. So we originally had requested 25,000, and then once they went out to bid, they realized that it was going to be 60. So this is based on actual bids that they have received. And this was the school security and, I almost lost my words there. This is the school security and emergency assessment.
So you're
So
in
they're
support
just-
you're in
oh, yes.
support of it.
It's gone
Yeah.
for the
Everything's in
entire
order,
committee, and
you're in
everything's in
favor.
order and was reported by the committee.
So this is an additional 25 to the 35 that was
Correct.
originally, okay.
I would move approval.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Item F,
You can table this item. I actually am the one who signs it, so we're good there.
okay. Thank you. Moving on to item G, to set the date for the 2024 annual town meeting.
We don't want to be late.
And if we read the budget
it on the
calendar,
books.
it's kind of already set.
We already
so.
said.
It is. It's
my
not a
charter
lot of
anyway.
wiggle room here.
A few
Our town manager
snowstorms
is
away,
way ahead of
we'll
us.
be there again.
Okay, so,
It's the season. All right,
I
so
will
May
move that
14th.
the select board set the date for the 2024 annual town meeting as May 14th, 2024.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Item H, we're actually also going to table until our entire board is present at our next
makes
meeting.
sense.
Yeah, and they
So
are attached though, so if people have a
So-
chance to review them over the next week, we would appreciate it.
That
Make
would
us
be
move faster.
great. Perfect.
Yeah, that's.
Item I, a vote to appoint James Mealy, Assistant Superintendent, to the Middle School Building Committee.
Mike Grant has resigned from the committee, and Superintendent Gilligan is requesting to appoint Mr. Mealy.
I will move that the select board appoint James Mealy to the middle school building committee.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Great. Now we're gonna head into licensing, so I will take a motion to enter licensing.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we are now in licensing. So we have an application from Shazoni LLC. If I mispronounced it, please correct. I have one of those names too. Nobody can pronounce it, including me sometimes. Thank you for getting that straight. LLC, DBA SRK Transportation for a livery license to be located at 59 Maple Avenue. So would you identify yourself, your address?
Sure.
and
Good
speak
evening,
to this?
everybody.
Thank you.
My name is Nadeem Khan. I am resident at 5759 Maple Ave, North Andover. Starting a new business. It will be a transportation business, which will be going all kind of transportation, like a wedding, concerts, airport services. If you guys need any services, please let me know or call me. I'll be there for you guys.
And
If
we
you
will pay you. Just want that to be clear. We cannot take
Sure.
gifts, nor will we.
So I'll be in the town, you know what I mean, if you're trying to start a new business here. If you have
What
any-
types of vehicles?
I will be driving a Suburban. It's it's like I have BA Suburban.
Is the license it's for one vehicle?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am, yes. As of right now, yes.
And there's adequate parking?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so that answers my question. I was gonna ask you where you're gonna store the vehicles, but right now you have a single vehicle.
Yes, sir.
What if you expand and get additional vehicles? Do you have?
If I do, which I don't know yet, but if I do, then I have to garage it somewhere else because it will not be possible to park it at my place. So then we'll see in future, I don't know yet. I started a business long time ago, which I already have the license from here before the COVID, because then COVID hit, I had to shut down everything. And then I'm redoing it again because everything started to come up again.
That's a good thing.
So I think, yeah, you'll find that there's quite a need in this
Yes,
area. I see
absolutely.
a lot of
Thank you.
requests for that service. so.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, congratulations and good luck with your new business.
Thank you, sir.
So with that, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move approval.
I'll second.
We have an approval.
Just
and
have
we
one
a
more
s-
thing to say, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Would it be a possibility, it's only 2 months, like, do I have to pay the fee for this year also? Or could you waive this, then I can pay for the 2024?
We've made some accommodations in the past, haven't we, or did we not? Or I know we talked about it.
Yeah, so I believe we were looking at changing the policy so that if you obtained your license from September through December, you wouldn't pay the fee, but you would pay the renewal fee. I can check on that.
So there'll be some sort of a discount, is what you're saying, that seems fair. I mean, it's
I
fair.
would
and
Yeah,
reasonable.
because they're
just
paying the
recommend
fee
that you
now.
follow up
Yeah, they're paying the
with-
fee now, and then he's gonna pay another one when they,
In-
because
in
all the
December,
renewals are done
January.
at the same
Yeah.
time.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
if
so we
you,
graduated it from June or something.
It may be
Or
prorated.
prorated
Prorated.
it,
right.
which is fair. I mean, almost everything prorates when you're so near the end, so this is.
But I would just recommend that you follow up with
Our
Lori.
assistant,
Yeah.
yeah, our assistant town manager, Lori Burzloff, and she'll help you with that. Thank you. But the vote still stands,
Yeah.
Yes.
so.
We
No,
haven't
we didn't
really-
take the vote.
Motion, second.
I have a second.
You seconded.
I seconded.
Okay.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Drive safe.
I will, thank you so much, guys.
Thank
Have
you.
a
Good
night.
luck.
Thank you, have a good night. I'll entertain a motion to move out of licensing.
So moved.
Second?
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and unanimous, Madam Chair.
Okay, we're gonna move on to consent items. We have 2 items tonight. One is to accept a donation from the Barker family in the amount of $500 to be used for programming at the senior center. You know that will go to very good use. And to accept a donation from the Friends of Stevens Memorial Library in the amount of $3,650 to be used for fall programming at the library. So
It's
we're really
fantastic.
grateful
Both of those are
for all
wonderful.
of the
Gifts.
the generous gifts that,
Yeah.
yeah, we receive that keep things moving along around here. So, on that note, I will take a motion.
Madam Chair, I'll move the select board accept donations from the Barker family and from the Friends of the Stevens Memorial Library as listed, and also to send a note of thanks to both of those.
And I will
groups
second
and
that.
organizations.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next item is the approval of minutes, so we'll look to approve the open session minutes of September 12th, 2023. Has everybody had a chance to look at them?
More than once.
Okay. You have.
For me,
If
it's more
so.
than once. That's why I don't vote on it. I figured I've already read through it, let somebody else catch my mistakes.
I'll take a motion to approve the minutes from.
I don't motion it, I mean, I do.
I
vote on
will
it.
move that the select board approve the open session minutes of September 12th, 2023, and September 26th, 2023, as presented.
I have a motion.
I'll second, but I will have to abstain from voting for the 26th because I was
Oh,
not in
do we have to,
attendance.
we have to
Because
do
we'll do them
this?
separately. Yeah, that's fine.
So we'll just do,
Change.
I'll change that, just September 12th, 2023.
Okay, and I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second for September 12th. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Now we'll move on to approve the open session minutes of September 26th, 2023.
So I'll move that the select board approve the open session minutes of September 26th, 2023, as presented.
I'll second that
I
one.
have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. Okay, moving on to select board updates. Do any of my colleagues have things to share?
Madam Chair, I would just say that I would be willing to have, come to a meeting on a Friday morning if we wanted to have a single item on the agenda to approve a request to raise the Israeli flag
I think it's
for
a
the
great
weekend.
idea, Dickie.
So if,
It's in
Yeah,
that
I knew we
thought.
couldn't talk about it tonight because it's
Right.
not on the agenda, so but I planned to, she could also submit a
Right, we're
request.
meeting Monday too. Right, is that when our meeting's gonna be?
I just think if we could do it, if we could approve it Friday,
If we-
maybe they could
yep.
have some kind of a gathering on Saturday or something like that and raise the flag.
And I think that I think she was hoping that we could leave it up at least for a while, it just, it's.
But I still not on our agenda, so I want to.
Well, no, it was just
These are extraordinary
my comments,
I know, but-
my comments, I guess, my update, so.
I agree and thank you for that. I wish she was here to hear it, because I think she was like, now what?
I know, I feel bad, but
I
I,
texted her and said, you did fine.
yeah, so,
Just leave me the flag and we'll see what we can do, but, yeah.
So we can fly it up to 30 days, as you know.
And then just picking a location.
Well, we only can fly it at the Common.
Yeah,
Under our
at the
flag
Common.
policy.
Yes.
Well, that's what I said to her,
Yeah.
I gotta check the policy, so it is just that one, okay,
Yep.
that's fine.
And there's an application.
yeah, but
That
she
needs
could
to be
just, she could fill out the application.
She absolutely
Yeah,
could fill out the
we'll tell her to.
application,
That's
yeah.
what I was, wanted to tell her to do,
All
but
good.
figured I would reach out to her.
Yep. I don't, so there's nothing in the, policy that allows for, like, any leeway,
okay.
to allow the chair to, or the town manager, or anybody else to allow the request, so that's why it's, I mean, it's a pretty
You mean to just
strict.
approve
It's
it?
okay, but,
Yeah.
and, I mean,
It's
it
a pretty
doesn't have to
strict
be
policy.
her who submits the request to, like, we'll take care of it. So, okay. And stay tuned if we need to have a special meeting.
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
I'll show
any
up
other
if we need
updates? What was it?
No, how was the fall festival this year? Everything went well?
Fall
I had-
festival was,
I had representatives attend, and they said it was fabulous.
yeah, it was a great event. It was a new location. I don't know the end result yet, but it was a nice day and people really liked having a place to park. I have to say. I got a lot of positive feedback about that. The wind was not our friend, that is for sure, and we lost several vendors had to pack it up and go home because they lost all their stuff with the wind
really?
gust. Yeah.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, really?
It was a rough, it was a rough,
Happened 2 years ago, too.
it was
my
rough,
goodness.
yes. So,
Oh, dear.
so we were feeling really terribly about that, but
I just want to give them there.
we will, it's, yeah.
If you're gonna do that, yeah, 'cause, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, that's nice of the group
So-
to do that.
So there was even enough parking,
Yeah.
with them on the parking
They were on
lot?
one side of the parking lot, and then so you had the other side and the whole back.
Perfect.
And there was, yeah, I mean, it seemed pretty good. So, any other,
We have the,
um,
we have a couple.
we're gonna pass it over to Town Manager Rodriguez.
It's just the Halloween one and a couple.
Yeah, she's,
You're gonna go in order, okay,
under,
yeah.
So attached to your agenda is our fiscal year 25 budget calendar. We are already on a roll and have already working on our capital improvement plan items, which are due on October 20th. But this pretty much lays out our entire winter and spring season. So lots of dates and everything in line with the charter. Lots of things to look forward to. The next thing that you all will see will be the capital improvement plan as well as the 5-year forecast. And then Halloween is going to be on Halloween from 5:30 to 7:30 is the police chief's recommended trick or treat hours. So we will post those online again that we're recommending that the trick or treat take place on Halloween from 5:30 to 7:30. And then the only other thing I would just remind people that town buildings will be closed on Tuesday, October 17th from 12 to 2 for an employee event. And that's it.
okay, we're looking forward to that budget process.
It's exciting.
And everybody will be thrilled to start seeing the Halloween things posted online,
Yes.
so. Perfect. Our next meeting date is actually Monday, October 16th, at 7 PM right here. And I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Wow, that was really.